What's going on, people out there in YouTube land? So, I just finished this one up, brand spanking new for 2023. Had no idea that I was even going to end up building this bike and having it done at this time. And I say that because I had actually quit building the custom bicycles and e-bikes for other people in 2020. I had told people at the start of that year that I was getting out of that because I had a lot of other things to pursue, which those of you that follow me know that. I got into a lot of mini bikes, the Harley Rat Rod, and motorcycle builds and all that. So I quit on these and I started this one just to fill in between that stuff because there's times when I'm waiting on parts, there's times when I'm saving money. A lot of things where you have gaps between the bigger stuff going on. So I like to stay busy, and that's where this build came into play. It's got a lot of stuff on it that I had been wanting to try for quite a long time. But again, I had stopped building them, so I never got around to a lot of those ideas. One of them was this rear frame design. With it coming in from the rear of the I can't even say the bike because there's no bike back there. Coming into the rear axle from the rear rather than from the front, which is what's always been done. It's kind of like a flying carpet design, with still having disc brakes and all the goodies. And I had actually found these bullet tail lights, motorcycle tail lights. So speaking of those, that's another thing that got incorporated on this. Is this is running on a 60 volt lithium battery. It's got Tesla cells, and I did the math. The bike comes out to around 1700 watts with the battery it's got, but there's a separate 12 volt circuit, and that is on this toggle switch right down here. So coming off the battery, which also runs through this frame tube, the cable, there's a voltage step down reducer that I put in here, and that line, that cable that comes off of there, I actually split it in here, and two of the wires, the negative and positive, go to the motor controller for the e-bike system, and two of them go to a voltage step-down reducer to drop the 60 volts down to 12. And that's on this switch. So when I flip it forward, these are all hooked into my 12 volt circuit now. So you've got the 12 volt circuit, but you've got the 60 volts to the e-bike system separately. And as far as the headlight goes, as you can see, it's off now. But this is also a 12 volt motorcycle headlight, billet aluminum headlight, and it's all wired the same way. There's one single wire to it. Again, goes into the tank, just like everything else. And it's on a motorcycle switch on the handlebar. So off is in the center. And then up is high beam. Middle's off. Down is low beam. Same exact thing as on a motorcycle. But anyhow, it's really nice having that separate 12 volt circuit, independent from your main e-bike 60 volt or 48 volt or 72 volt or whatever it is, because there's, like I said, there's so many 12 volt accessories already out there. And the other thing is, you're not having to run separate batteries for everything. There's one main battery for the entire bike, and you're gonna be recharging that all the time anyway. So it's like, I had to do it with this one. It was like, I just can't deal with that anymore. You already have one high voltage battery, just use it for everything. So that was that. And then these tanks are, I believe, I think it's 52 thousandths aluminum 5000 series, and it's got this aluminum grill right here at the mouth of the tank. It's all 3/16 aluminum, and the concept was there's a slotted hole right there and the same thing on the other side, and the motor controller's in there, and so is the voltage step down reducer, which both gain heat. So it takes in air at the mouth of that grill, and it sweeps through the inside and comes out the bottom here. So you do have cooling in there, and that was another reason for me building it out of aluminum. I wanted the aluminum for heat dissipation, besides the fact that it's way lighter than steel, and I don't really like working with fiberglass. It's got the lace pattern. I'm sorry, this camera keeps going out of focus in these fluorescent shop lights. And then I just used the backbone as the crown for the tank. So the fork, it's got I think the second or third time I did this, it's got that 4-leg Springer look to it, but it's not. And I had mentioned in the previous video of this bike, I think, I wanted the handlebar mounting point to actually sit lower than the top of the forks, so it looks like they were slammed down into the bike. But 4-leg design, and big old 8-inch 203 millimeter disc brakes. Stopping is just as important to me. These pedals, I've got them on a few bikes now, and I really like them. They're all aluminum and triple sealed bearings. And as far as the drivetrain goes, I also had found this pit bike roller right here, roller guide, and I had spliced a piece of 7/8 handlebar grip on there, so that this chain, you wouldn't hear it going over the roller. That guide basically keeps that lower chain though from slapping this nice paint. And this seat, I don't even want to get into how much time it took. So the tooling, the painting, but the main thing was this was my first edge laced seat, meaning it's laced and held together around the outer edge with a leather cord rather than being sewn together. And it's also on an aluminum pan. So that's that for this thing for 2023. As far as the show scene for this goes, these go this upcoming year. I don't know. I might take this out. I might not. Like I said, I've got other stuff going. I still got my Harley rat rod that I'm getting ready to put a cantilever suspension on the rear. I've got an Ironhead chopper over there that the engine's coming back from the machine shop that I'm waiting on. And then I just picked up this bad boy, I think in October. And that's a 300 rear, 300 wide, 10.5-inch wide rear, custom rigid chopper frame, new modern era chopper frame. So I'm getting lined up for that for this year. And then I've got other stuff that's not even in here going on. I've got a truck in the driveway, and I still got my old school around town electric hot rod chopper right there. So quite a bit of stuff, and we'll see. We'll see if I hit up any shows or not. But other than that, thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch you later.